Ciao, and welcome back to Pushbox Banter. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Craig. Okay.
Gregory.
That was Gregory. And we're here to talk about F1 and all that implies. Today, we're talking about Monza,
Yes,
the Temple of Speed,
the Temple of Speed.
the place where engines and espresso are very common,
Yep.
make a lot of noise. So today, man, we had a pretty big weekend. I mean, coming off of, our last race and then this week, Monza.
Yep.
Everybody, I think, was thinking, McLaren's going to run away with everything. And then
I think people were thinking
hoping-
Hajar was going to win the race.
Oh, I think everybody was hoping, in when was it, 2020? Another Racing Bulls driver won, Pierre Gasly.
Oh, Pierre Gasly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he started, 10th and ended up winning.
Yeah.
He had like a few things go his way, some penalties, some
That's right.
incidences,
That's right.
if that's a word, incidents. Yeah. well,
Incidents.
all right, guys. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So all sorts of stuff in Monza.
that's right. Lots of good stuff.
Lots of great stuff. Greatness was on display this week in Monza. And one of the things and where it started, my friend, it started in qualifying. Actually, I mean, other great things I'm sure started before that, but the big news really was in qualifying. So we had two of the fastest laps ever recorded in F1 at Monza,
That's right.
ever in qualifying. And they were back to back. So the records typically, like you think, okay, F1, it's fast. You got these cars that drive the same track for most of the time. And you think, I mean, okay, so no big deal, right? Like most of the time the records get broken. It's you're building a machine for speed. And the last record, it was held by Lewis Hamilton. He set it in 2020. The record before that was set in 2018. Before that, it was like the early 2000s. I think it was 2004. So, and then before that, it was middle of the there's big drops. And so over the past 70 years, I think there's been 17, 18 different records that have been held, which is pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
When you think about it. So qualifying comes around. We get some cool stuff. And we have Lando Norris setting the fastest record.
That's right. He was looking good.
He's looking real good.
Hate to admit it, but he was looking good. Yes.
Yeah. And then
Someone was looking better.
my man, Max Verstappen,
That's
comes
right.
and saves the day for me and sets the record for the fastest lap ever. So he averaged, if you're into miles per hour, 164 miles per hour. If you're into kilometers per hour, 264.681 kilometers per hour for a lap time of 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Amazing.
0.792. Yeah, it was amazing. It really was. Fastest lap ever.
That's awesome.
I thought so. Of course, does Max do anything that's not awesome? Maybe.
Well,
I don't know. I don't. Let's not talk about those things. So that was qualifying, but other notes to other notes for qualifying.
Other notes for qualifying, big takeaways. I would say Lawson, P20. It's kind of happy to see that. No,
Somewhat expected.
he's expected.
He's kind of performing similar to another guy that we see a lot in Q1.
Almost like Stroll.
I know it is. I mean, and Stroll was there with him. He did not disappoint.
Yes.
Set another, extending that record out.
Another record.
Yeah,
Record setting.
he is. He is a record-setting driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And outside of that,
Q2 is kind of interesting with Norris. Like he almost didn't make it out of Q2.
that's right.
They had some. I think he had to board a lap. He went over track limits. They boarded a lap, and then he had to get back out there. And of course, he did just fine.
That's right.
So, just a little. I think it was more drama for the announcers than real drama.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. The Ferraris did pretty all right.
Pretty all right is accurate. Yeah.
I mean, I think
that's pretty accurate.
their expectation now is just pretty all right, and that's good enough.
Man.
I mean, don't ask the Tifosi that, but
No, it is weird because it's like you have McLaren and their car is performing at the top. And then you have Max's Red Bull that also is up there at the top every single race. And then Mercedes and Ferrari kind of go back and forth. It's like George Russell's really carrying Mercedes. And then you've got the Ferrari team and Leclerc and Hamilton, and Leclerc's typically a little bit better than Hamilton. So yeah, you think, okay, they're like the number 2 in the drivers' championship, but really it's a distant number 2. They're just not close to the papaya. Yeah. But in reality, like they're better than all the other teams pretty much. I think consistently.
They're very close. I mean, you have Williams that are not that far away from them.
Yeah,
they're, I don't know.
They're knocking at the door.
They're knocking at the door. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about Ferrari other than they just probably need to do better.
Yeah, they did well on their liveries this weekend, I think. And they did really well on kind of having a throwback suit in the car. Did you see the stitching on that? On the back, it's got like the curved, and then they had the names kind of embossed on the back.
No, I didn't really pay attention.
Like Hamilton and Leclerc. It was pretty cool looking. Not that I'm going to go out and buy one of those, but yeah, for the suits, it was pretty cool looking. They did some special tribute to helmets to Niki Lauda. So,
that's right.
Yeah, for previous Ferrari great and F1 great. So
that's right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah, and it's their home race. So, normally Monza is a sea of red, but now Ferrari's even changed that, and now there's little dots of blue all over the place because they keep pulling out this freaking blue livery and blue colors and everything. Thank you, HP.
The HP blue. I know, I don't like it.
It actually, it's kind of weird. Like, I like the color. I'm a big fan of the color blue, and I like blue clothes. Guys, it's just true. It's just how it is. So, but Ferrari is red, yellow, and black. It's not blue.
Yeah, it's not.
It's hard. It's hard for me. But the actual color that they have, the color scheme of that blue outfit is nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a good contrast to the red. I like it.
It does, and it goes together well. Yeah. It's just not red.
It's not red.
It's not the red prancing pony.
Yeah. Speaking about red, we have Red Bull.
Yes.
Red and another thing with 4 legs.
Yes.
We have Red Bull.
Yes, another animal. Yes.
Yeah, so Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't gotten to the race, right? But
that's true.
The race, I mean, you had a fantastic quali, right? With Verstappen getting the fastest lap ever there.
Mm-hmm.
Pole position.
Yes.
And we start the race, and the race goes off. Verstappen's in the lead, and he kind of loses the lead. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat. He gives it away.
Yeah, it kind of gives it away. There's some question at the very beginning that he possibly pushed Lando off of the road and then off, and then overtook during the first couple of corners. But he gives the lead up, and then he takes it right back a couple laps later.
And he runs with it.
And he runs away with it pretty much.
Runs away with it.
Like, I was surprised. I was like, okay, he's past Norris. He's back into first. Can he hold it? Is his car going to last? Because all season long, it hasn't been that way. But today, it was glorious.
It really was.
Yeah.
So he runs away with it. And, I mean, that's pretty much the end of the story. It was one of the shortest, literally the shortest race in F1 history at 1:13 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, we only had we had one yellow flag, and then it went green right away.
Right, exactly.
We had we had 2 cars that didn't finish. Everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it was
pretty
pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
But the McLarens really had nothing for the Red Bull. And that kind of begs the question, Craig, is this the comeback that Red Bull were waiting for, especially off the back of sacking Christian Horner?
I think so. I think a little bit of the comeback. I think that, the Red Bull has traditionally been slightly faster in a straight line than the McLaren. The McLaren has better speed through the curves typically. So I'm hoping so. I don't know how many more races are like this. I mean, we had a low drag,
low downforce race this week.
Race, and so Red Bull's car typically does really well. But even Tsunoda looked good. I mean, for Tsunoda.
I wouldn't agree totally, but
also he did really well. But in quali,
right.
I think that they had him at I might be wrong on this, but I think that they had him set up to where he could possibly help Verstappen a little bit.
Oh, get a
possibly
slipstream.
give it
Yep.
to slipstream.
Yep.
But also like during the race, I think that because they had him pit first, put him onto hard tires. So I think that they were checking out his tire degradation so they would know what to do with Max.
Right.
It kind of sacrificed his race for him, but
And he had damage as well from
yeah,
Lawson.
yeah.
So,
Lawson's lovely drive.
yeah.
Gosh, man. So yeah, Red Bull, I think that they're coming back.
I think
I
they
think
are
I think
too.
they're going to be around. I think Verstappen's going to be competitive the rest of the season.
Right.
Will he win another race? I don't know, but I think he's definitely in the fight for podiums the rest of the way.
What do you think's motivating them? What do you think's motivating Red Bull to make a car that's going to compete?
Well, they kind of have to. So right now, like where they sit in the Drivers' Championship, they're behind Mercedes, they're behind Ferrari. But if they actually, I might be wrong on that. I didn't look at the totals before we got on here, but they're pretty much neck and neck. Going into the race, they were behind both of them. If they finish, then that's a huge jump in money for them. So if they were to tank, like I looked at it last week and I was like, okay, what if Max Verstappen went to Racing Bulls?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it would
took one of the cars there. How would it do? Like, and I was thinking, okay, for Racing Bulls, tons of sense because they could jump up 3 positions possibly, but then they
Right.
would be just right behind Red Bull, and
Yeah.
then Red Bull wouldn't go anywhere. So
That's
it
interesting.
didn't make a lot of sense.
It's interesting
that way for Red
you're.
Bull.
It's interesting that you're saying that because I think their motivation is actually just keeping Verstappen. I think I'd heard this week that Joss was essentially confirming that they were in talks with other teams, up to 3 other teams. So
Yeah.
I think possibly they're just like, we got to do everything, throw everything at this one car and get that car going to satisfy Max, and Max hopefully staying with Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to. I mean, if you're going to have the generational talent driving for you, you better keep them happy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
it doesn't make sense to let them go. And I know they get a lot of grief about how the second car is horrible, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, we say it all the time.
Well, I think everybody
Everybody
says
does,
it.
right? but at the end of the day, like you have Max Verstappen, you have a once in a lifetime, well, maybe not lifetime, but it's a generational talent. And you got to use that and you got to go with it and you got to do things that are going to be a little bit different than how other teams would handle a sports team or franchise. And you also like, it's just going to be different.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
that's just how it's going to be. So go with it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I think they need to do that. They needed this win.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have them in my tally really. I was just like, well, maybe it happens just to have someone else like they're pushing the McLaren's, but to see them not only getting pole position, but then maintaining that pole position. I was surprised because I think in the last couple races we would see that, okay, Verstappen takes the lead. Maybe he's in front with Norris and he takes Norris, of course, right? And then not more than 3, 4, 5 laps, then he's been overpassed, right? He's been taken over by the McLarens, and it's like, well, that's expected. The Red Bull isn't performing as well as it should be.
Right.
The McLarens are just that much better. But now it seems like, okay, well, what happened here? Either something happened with the McLarens or that Red Bull just, there's something that they did, that their package was that good. Hopefully they maintain that, and they've generally been good in Baku, so maybe next week, I think, or next 2 weeks from now, they'll maintain that, and we'll see a different story, and hopefully that plays into the fight for the championship, for the drivers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the right move for Mekis? Like, do you think... let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Do you think that Mekis was the right move or the right replacement in that team? Like, could they have gotten someone else? Or does this show that, okay, hey, in a couple of races, he's delivered?
I think it confirms that he's the right choice. I mean, I know that that's like small sample size and you're making a confirmation there off of a small sample size, but in reality, like he knows the system, he knows the company, he can go into it, function better. He knows a lot of the people that are there. I think it was a great choice. Is there anybody else that's out there that's better than him? I don't really think so. I mean,
Right.
you could say Toto Wolff. You could say, maybe Fred Vasseur. But really,
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Well,
I
mean,
why? I mean,
I'm
he
sure
took
there are some really,
there's
lots
great
of good
choices.
ones
Yeah, there's lots of
out of
great
work
choices
right now,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, there's lots of great choices, but it's like, are they really better?
Yeah.
They're around the same level.
Or does it just speak to the system that Christian Horner had developed? Like, is it
Yeah, I think
is
it's
it
a
the
lot of that.
machine, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that. I think that, they did have a pretty well-oiled machine going.
Yeah.
But I think that he's tweaked some stuff here and there. It's going pretty good. I mean, Max Verstappen actually was complimentary of the car, so that it felt really good. His tone on the radio and everything, it seems like he's happy.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember hearing him that way in quite some time. Even when he was winning races, I don't remember hearing that type of energy coming out of it.
Yeah.
So
It was awesome to see him like all excited, happy.
Yeah.
It was almost like he hadn't won in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it me, or is everyone just concerned with protecting Lando's feelings? Like, I feel that
That's a good question.
this was a very Lando centric race.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think so.
hadn't seen that sort of thing since like the days of Lewis Hamilton, where everything
Mm-hmm.
just kind of revolved around him. Every decision was around him, and to some extent Verstappen as well.
Yeah.
In his dominant era, right? But this race was unusual for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, first, Verstappen having to give back that position seemed like incorrect.
I thought so too. I mean, when it was going down, I was
Yeah.
like, what? I mean,
It just didn't see. Okay, so the
It's the
road,
start of the
road,
race,
yeah, the
like-
road narrows down. He had, it was technically his lane. He was
He's
still in
driving
front.
straight. Yeah.
He was driving straight. He didn't really move.
mm-hmm.
So why would Red Bull make that call? I mean, granted, it didn't matter because he did take the place back
Mm-hmm.
in merit, right?
Right.
But here we are, just kind of concerned with like Lando Norris's race, and I don't know that I feel like they should have just Red Bull should have believed in the car, and even if they did get a 5-second penalty, they would have overcome it.
They would have today.
They really would have. Yeah.
I think too, like once they saw the race pace after a couple of laps, because I think that they knew
Yeah.
that everything was going to be okay. I think that they had a good feeling about
Yeah.
it. They probably felt good about it beforehand, but I don't know. That was a weird thing.
It was weird.
And I was like, why are they giving it back?
Yeah.
Maybe because like Verstappen's had issues in the past with with incidences with George Russell and not wanting to give it back. But I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah, and that was just one example. Obviously, we'll go into the next example a little later, but obviously with McLaren deciding on the P2,
Yeah.
that was another issue that I took issue with. I was like, okay, well, this is strange.
You want to just jump into
All right, well, we'll jump right into it then.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the papaya rules, right? And apparently now papaya rules include bungled pit stops.
Yes. How do you handle bungled pit stops?
Exactly.
And there's a rule book, a papaya rule book for it.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's in the shape of a papaya. It's papaya colored.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's great.
And
It's great.
this
Yeah.
is the rules the drivers follow.
Mm-hmm. Right. And they agreed upon this apparently before the race as well. They evidently discussed this scenario before the race. Which part of me finds a little hard to believe, but at the same time, not. I mean, it's good preparation, sure.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to talk us into like what happened? What led up to this new papaya rule?
So for the vast majority of the race, we have Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, that order. Verstappen, he goes in, pits, and he comes back out, and he's third. So then we have Norris and Piastri, and they're still on the same set of tires, and it's like lap 45, 46. And McLaren decides that they want to pit stop both of them and put them on soft tires. And they talk to Lando and tell him that they're going to have Piastri go in first and then have Lando go, which to me seems like, why don't they have him go first? But
Right.
whatever reason, that's what they agreed upon doing. So that's what they do. Piastri goes in, normal fast pit stop like McLaren always does. The next lap, Norris comes around and they go in and he has like a 5.9 second pit stop. Slow as could be. He comes out and he's in third place at that point.
Yeah.
And we're all like thinking, oh my God, we're thinking, hey, this is going to end up this, this certain order. And all of a sudden he's third. So now he's going to lose points in the championship race. He's not going to gain any points. But what happened in that pit stop was not his fault. It was not that we know of.
Right. Sure.
It could have been.
Sure.
But there would have had to have been some quite finagling for him to do that. But the pit crew on the front left tire had some problems. They put the tire on. It looks like they get the lug nut on. They pull the gun off of it, and it's still like blinking, which they have lights, as you guys know, they have lights all the way around. It's blinking like red and green, meaning, hey, it's not done. It needs to go back on. But in order for it to work properly, like it's got to be back to blue. And so the colors aren't going back to blue, and you see him like hit it a couple of times, and it goes back to blue, and they stick it on, and then off he goes. But so he comes out, and he's behind Piastri, and and this is where the stuff comes in, what you're talking about.
Yeah,
the Norris bias.
Yeah, exactly. So they basically asked Piastri to, hey, let him through.
Mm-hmm.
And
team rules.
Team rules. Like, okay. What does Piastri do? He just goes back and says, "Hey, what's this? What does this have to do with anything? Like, it's just so basically a slow pit stop. Now we have to do this," and they're essentially saying, like, "Yeah, you have to." And he says, "Okay, well," he lets him through. A couple of laps later, the race ends. Piastri ends up P3, Norris P2, and then of course Verstappen, right? And we're left with this, like, okay, well, sure. Is it fair? You can argue it's fair, but who cares? Like, things like this happen. This is the joy of racing, is you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what the next turns.
Right.
If somebody crashes in front of you and then all of a sudden there's a yellow or a safety car or something, like, you can't control those things. And a slow pit stop is one of those things where, sure, in theory, the mechanics can control that, but the driver doesn't. And even though he had a great weekend, it is what it is. Like, he lost the place. Why is that Piastri's deal? And Piastri loses out. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of ridiculous in my book.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous. Now, if they genuinely, like in Lando's interview afterward, of course, he's kind of smiling and a little giddy that he's got second, which is great. But he's talking about how it being fair that they gave him the place back, and that it was discussed beforehand that that's what would happen in those scenarios. Which is fine if that's the reality of it. Okay, that's their team. They've made those decisions behind everything. But it is kind of weird because, and he also talks about, hey, he would rather win, not with having that type of controversy over it, right? Which I think anybody would. Like, you don't really want to win. Like, it's nice coming in second, but honestly, you want to win because you want to win second because you won second, not because of some technicality. And so somebody talked to somebody else to give them the place back to you. Because if that wasn't McLaren, if that was anybody else, he would have been in third.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so he could have raced back up to that car possibly. And he did bring a little bit of ways, but not much. But he only had like 6 or 7 laps to do this.
Craig, a bigger man would have said no.
Yeah.
I would have said, no, I'm going to race him and I'll get my second place back.
That's right. Because that's how you roll here.
That's how you roll.
I know. Like you're
a racing driver. It doesn't matter that you everything, 99% of it was perfect up until your pit stop. So what? Like, your pit stop was crap. Now deal with it. Like win it back.
Yeah.
If you're that good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, well, you're from the same team. What difference does it make? A handful of points. Like, okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the announcers talking about, oh, well, they're racing for the Drivers' Championship. Yeah. The Drivers' Championship's freaking already won by them. Like, they're so far out in front.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, mathematically, I might be wrong on that, but they're going to win.
Still,
there's no question about that.
Yeah.
So
it's just, and then he's like smiling and giddy, and it's like, okay, so you had a good weekend, and then your team basically gave it to you,
right?
Because like, still, you would have been third. Like you would have been happy. You should have been happy with third.
Yeah.
It's a great result.
Right.
Why does it have to be second?
Maybe, I mean, in retrospect, maybe he should have pushed a little bit more, like to go first into the pit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's reasons for that. Like if he goes second, and there's like a safety car in the middle of Piastri going in, then okay. Or they could have double stacked a little bit.
Yeah.
Although they were really close.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't have happened.
Kind of screwed things up. But I think actually they were so far out in front of fourth place, they probably could have done it anyway and been fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess they wanted to protect at least getting one win or one podium place, just in case there was some weird accident.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Anyway.
Lando.
Well, you know who had an excellent week?
Who's that?
Hajar. Well, it wasn't excellent because he was driving what seemed like a very slow Racing Bulls car.
Yeah.
But a really nice comeback
That's
drive.
true.
Something maybe he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, that's true. Because, last week he gets on the podium and then Kimi Räikkönen advises him to underperform as much as possible so he doesn't end up on the RB team next year. And what does he do? He underperforms in qualifying. He's out in Q1, starts from pit lane.
And still rescues a point.
And still gets into the points,
What
man.
in the world?
He's a magnet for points.
That's amazing. And then you have Yuki Tsunoda, Lawson, and they're what, like
They
12th and
get tied
13th?
up. Freaking Lawson.
And then Lawson, hits Yuki. It's like, come on. These guys are just not serious.
Yeah.
Yuki, I feel bad for him. And this wasn't a terrible weekend for him, but something's got to give. Like at some point, he's got to focus on something else.
Yeah. Because
I don't think he's going to see him. We're going to see him next year for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that we will either. No. Yuki's he's a good driver, but it's just bad things tend to happen around him or not great things tend to happen around him. Some people in life, it's like great things just follow them around. Other people, it's like a black cloud follows them around. I wouldn't say he's either of those, but he's kind of middle of the road.
Considering
I don't know if it's I don't know what all that is. There's a lot of factors.
How many years it took him to get to Red Bull, and tend to really stink it up in the 1 year he's there. It's quite awful. It's still the same machinery. It might be a little different. It might be adjusting it more to his liking, but he still can't drive it.
I mean, and honestly, if he was aiming for the Red Bull car all of this time, was he not simulating driving sims with that car? Shouldn't he be closer to that? I mean,
you would think.
Out of all these years, but I don't know. Guy's a cool guy. Yeah, we may see him in anime cartoons about F1.
That just
superhero.
That just might be it.
Yeah,
or a restaurant or something.
Possibly, or more.
Have you seen the commercials with him and Gordon Ramsay? And I think they're doing
yes.
There's a pan.
Just yeah.
It's his goal is making a steak for Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
Anyway, what about the Ferraris? I mean, what was your feeling at the end of the day? What was your takeaway? Is this just it? I know we mentioned it a little bit already, but I don't know. I don't see them doing much for the rest of the year.
It kind of sucks.
Do they rescue anything? Do they rescue a win? Do they get a win? What is it with them?
I don't know if they'll get a win. I think that they might get another podium or two, but at the same time, it's they're basically playing a game between Max Verstappen and George Russell.
Yeah.
And Charles Leclerc, pretty much. I mean, Hamilton might, but I don't think so this year, which is unfortunate because I would love to see Hamilton win.
Yeah.
I would love to see him on the podium. Love to see Charles Leclerc on the podium.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think that they've got the machinery to do it this year.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately.
True. I think the biggest takeaway for me this week was Leo walking in the arms of Charles's girlfriend had the paparazzi all taking pictures of him.
Poor little Leo.
I know.
He's such a celebrity.
He's
really good with the camera though.
Yeah,
he really is.
And I guess quickly before we just head out to Baku here, What do you think about the rookies? So we had Bartoletto had a pretty decent race.
Oh yeah.
Antonelli had an okay race considering he's had a slump
It's true.
for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 races.
Mhm.
Is there anyone in particular other than Hajar that stood out to you?
I mean, of course, Hajar. I think top 3 rookies obviously are those 3. Bortoletto, really solid, and he continues to impress. Like he doesn't get as much publicity just because he's from Brazil and because he's on Sauber. But yeah,
I think he's going to be like.
I think he may be the best out of all 3.
Yeah,
possibly.
I agree.
I mean, Hajar might be better. Antonelli might be as well. I mean, he's younger. He started off the year really well, and then he had some incidences, and I don't think he's got his confidence back. I think this race, because last year, if I might be mistaken, it might have been Imola, but where he was in FP1 in his very first lap, he's just flying around and loses control, and then so he comes back this year, and I think that there's a little bit because he was in an incident at the end of the race last week.
Yeah.
That I think he was a little hesitant, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's okay. But hopefully he gets that back. I think he has a ton of potential, and hopefully that potential will shine through in the upcoming races. He's definitely got the machinery behind him.
For sure.
But, yeah,
I
think those 3 are the top.
I like
Behrman's
Bartoletta.
really good, but
Behrman.
he's up and down a little bit. He had some points this week. He got some penalty points on his card. So
it doesn't help.
Mhm.
It doesn't help Behrman that he's in Haas.
That's right.
That's just it. Like if he were in any other car, even the Sauber,
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to see a little bit more of his potential.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like kind of getting lost at that team. So, and obviously, he had a penalty. He hit Sainz, right? So,
yeah.
all right. So
Alex Albon, though, speaking of Williams.
Well, yes.
Alex Albon had a great drive today. Started
did.
14th, ended 7th.
Yes.
He's having like his best year of his career. Pretty cool stuff.
Like that guy.
Yeah.
He's cool. All right. What about Baku? It's in 2 weeks. Is there anything you think will be interesting about that race, or?
I always love watching that race just because of some of the right angles that you've got, and then you also have the curve around the castle.
Yeah,
the castle
right.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Was that the race last year where Sainz and Sergio Perez?
it was the downfall of Sergio Perez's year last year. Well,
it was a possible comeback, and then
it was.
Sainz
He was having
hit him.
such a great race. Yeah, both of them like hit each other. A few laps left.
It's so terrible.
Total annihilation for both of them.
Yep. What's your predictions?
My predictions next week. I mean, you're still going to see the McLarens on the podium.
Okay.
So then it's really who's coming in next. So I mean, I think Piastri and then Norris, and I think Verstappen. I mean, I just feel like those 3 are going to be the ones. We might see a surprise with George Russell, but no. Hopefully Leclerc.
All right. So
I don't know.
So give them to me again.
Piastri, Norris, Verstappen.
Okay. Piastri, Norris, Verstappen. Okay. Not too bad.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. Because Norris, after today, I'm just like, I've got this taste in my mouth. I don't want to see him in the podium. They might just like.
I didn't pick who I want to see. I picked who I think is going to be there.
Yes, I know.
I agree with you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe not. I mean, I think Piastri's going to come out. He's going to come out on top of things. I don't think he's going to let this past weekend sit very well with him all week.
I hope so too. And he said that he didn't like the package or he didn't like the balance in the car. So he was already uncomfortable to begin with.
Yeah.
So it makes you kind of wonder, like, why did he have a balance or package that wasn't like suited to his liking?
Right.
Kind of makes you think like, okay, was it they did both cars to kind of favor one driver or something? I don't know.
Were they not listening to him?
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc. That's my pick.
Nice. Okay. Well, so next week, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, we'll be back in Asia. For the race. Unfortunately, we're not going to travel there and film from there, but you never know. Never know what the next couple of weeks
One
might bring.
day.
We'll win a lottery ticket. We'll do it. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Well,
Or like, subscribe, comment, do the thing you do
yes.
on your platform.
And above all, live passionately, my friends.
Ciao.
All right. Ciao.